Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and anyone else who may be watching. So, as you may know, GW, for Christmas, because they're just so fantastic, have decided to give every army a new detachment. So, I figured, you know what? Just as a little test to see how, my videos, all my settings are going to do, I decided, why don't we look at the Tyranid one? Because me, play Tyranids as my main army. I own a couple thousand points of Tyranids, and let's just see what my first thoughts are. Just reading through this real quick, and let's just go through it, just see how good it is. So we have Warrior Bioform Onslaught. Detachment rule is Leader Beasts. Tyranid Warriors and Winged Tyranid Primes have a 5-up invul save. So it's just Tyranid Warriors and Winged Tyranid Prime. Okay. Tyranid Warriors with ranged bioweapons, melee bioweapons. They all gain Tyranid Warriors and Battle Line keywords. Oh, so it makes them Battle Line. Okay. And while it's not Battle Shock, they have an OC of 3. Each model has an OC of 3. Okay. So first thoughts, just this. We're kind of being bottlenecked into playing 2 to 3 squads. That's all the variety you're building around. So that alone, it's interesting because Tyranid Warriors have Synapse. They have some decent stuff. They're not fantastic, but maybe this will make their points worth it. However, I don't know how I feel about them not buffing much else. It does make it so that when your Tyranid Prime is leading some gargoyles, maybe this will give them some buffs, but we'll see. So enhancements, 10 points for Synaptic Tyrant. Can I just say, Tyranids have the best names for everything. Just, peak names. So, Neurotyrant, whoa. Okay, Neurotyrant model only. During the declare battle formation step, the bearer can be attached to a Tyranid Warriors unit. Okay. Oh, I like this actually. So I have some of the data sheets pulled up here on the Warhammer app. And if a Neurotyrant is leading a unit, they get +1 to hit, and against a battle shock unit, they also get +1 to wound. That's not terrible. So you probably want to play this with ranged Tyranid Warriors. A Barb Strangler is a decent gun. Death Spitters are okay. It makes it so really your Venom Cannons and your Stranglers are probably doing a lot more damage with the +1 to hit because Warriors only hit on 4s. That's not terrible. I don't hate that. It also makes Devourers more of chaff killing units. The +1 to hit is really the big thing because instead of hitting on 4s with every gun, now we're hitting on 3s. Range warrior attacks, melee attacks they're whatever. They're not nothing. You can clear some chaff, but that's about it. With melee warriors though, melee warriors do have decent melee weapons. 6 attacks hitting on 3s, strength 5, AP2, 1 damage with twin link, so it's not nothing. So this basically just makes it hit on 2s, strength 6. You turn them from good chaff clears to like real good chaff clears, especially with their ability to reroll hits of 1s. So now you're hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s with twin linked. Your melee warriors are cutting through chaff, especially with the Neuro Tyrant's Flamer. This in a melee squad kind of just seems like look at a squad and delete it, like a chaff squad. It's not awful, especially only for 10 points. However, I don't know if you want to put the Neuro Tyrant with melee warriors because you don't want to get it in melee. But it's not nothing. Okay. Ocular adaptation for 20 points. Wing Tyranid Prime model only. So, again, we're being a little bottlenecked here, but it's fine. We got the Neurotyrant buff. Each time a model in the Bears unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. Okay, so it's just like a baby Neurotyrant. That's really what you're giving it. if you wanted to run it with a big squad of gargoyles, giving them +1 to hit could also be another like chaff killing unit. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but I don't hate it. Especially because with ranged warriors, I mean, you still make them hit on 3s, and it's cheaper than the Neuro Tyrant, but I don't know. This isn't interesting me as much. Sensory assimilation for 20 points. Wing Tyranid Prime model only. Okay, so I don't know if they want us to run multiple Wing Tyranid Primes. I don't know if you guys have seen that data sheet. It's not my favorite, but it's not my most hated. But regardless, each time an attack targets the bearer's unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Okay. See, this is what I like to see, because now we could put a Wing Tyranid Prime with some ranged warriors, and when the Wing Tyranid Prime leads that unit, it gives them sustain hits 1 on their ranged weapons. Oh no, on all weapons. Oh, so sorry, I misspoke there. So you can kind of just throw this with a 6 squad of ranged warriors, give it all sustain hits, and shooting back, it's harder for them to. I mean, it's good. I don't know how great it feels because, well, yeah, because I mean, melee warriors with this would be very good, but range warriors with this feels a little awkward since the Wing Tyranid Prime doesn't actually have any range weapons. However, just putting this with melee warriors and running them up the board, giving them sustained hits and the warriors natural +1 to hit, or reroll ones to hit, it's not bad. I actually like this. Now that I think about it, I like it more than before. This is something I definitely see people using. A 6 squad of melee warriors with sensory assimilation, move them up maybe the side of a board where there isn't as much to shoot at them, hide them behind some good cover. When you get them in melee, they're harder to kill. I like this. I like sensory assimilation. Okay. And then elevated might for 30 whole points. Jeez, we're getting up there. Tyranids model only. The bearer's unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advances. Okay. Okay. See, this is more general, like a general enhancement. Advance and charge on any Tyranid. Huh. I mean, if you throw this on a Hive Tyrant, for example, with some boys with him, it's not terrible. I mean, some Tyrant Guard with the Hive Tyrant, not bad. You probably don't want to put this with the Wing Tyranid Prime, because you don't really want to max out on Wing Tyranid Prime. Well, maybe in this one you do, but like, it's not fantastic. But I mean, advance and charge on any leader, that's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty great. You could put this also on a Wing Tyranid Prime, walk it up with some melee warriors, get it there early, and hope they tank with their 5-up invul. It's not bad. Okay, I'm a bigger fan of sensory assimilation and elevated might than anything else. These two feel kind of cheesy. I mean, the Synaptic Tyrant one, because you want to run the Neuro Tyrant anyway because it's so good. Just the -1 to battle shock is super nice, and giving them the buffs to range warriors, not bad. I kind of like this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a decent fan so far. But now, let's look at the stratagems, because I feel like this makes or breaks it. This is all just bonus stuff. Enhancements, bonus, whatever. You can afford not to take them. So, Synaptic Amplification. Shoot your shooting phase or the fight phase. Okay, so either when you're shooting at them or when fighting is happening. One Tyranids unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot or fight this phase. If that unit is a Tyranid Warriors unit, select up to one Endless Multitude unit from your army that is not Battle Shock and is within 6 inches of it. Okay, so Endless Multitude are Gaunts. Your Termagants, your Hormagaunts. I think Ripper Swarms are Endless Multitude. I'm probably wrong about that. But really, you're looking at Gaunts. You're looking at your Termagants and your Hormagaunts, probably depending on if you're in melee or in range. Until the end of the phase, each time a model and those units make an attack, reroll wounds of 1, and if it's a Tyranid's warrior unit, reroll a hit roll of 1 as well. Huh. Huh. I'm not. Huh. This feels really good. Okay, just initially, this feels good because reroll wounds, great. Just even reroll 1's wound, great. Tyranid's warrior unit, reroll hits of 1 as well. Very, very good. I mean, yeah, this is just good. I mean, your Termagants, I don't think you really want to use this for because, I mean, they're Termagants, they're not there to kill. However, Hormagaunts, this feels good with Hormagaunts because Hormagaunts, okay, sorry, my brain is trying to put things together. So if you have a Winged Tyranid Prime unit with the elevated might, so the advance in charge, if you really wanted to, you could put a 6 squad of melee warriors with a Winged Tyranid Prime, give them advance in charge. Hormagaunts naturally get advance in charge. You use this synaptic amplification, and then you make the Hormagaunt squad have reroll 1s to wound. So you've essentially moved, 27 models through advance in charge, rerolling wounds of 1 and sustain hits on the warriors. I like that, actually. I'm actually a big fan of that. That seems pretty good, especially getting places early. Maybe if you can get an early flank off, or maybe if you keep those units safe and more in the mid game, turn 2, 3 maybe, charge them into something and really open up their position. I like this synaptic amplification. I'm not going to lie. But moving on. Spontaneous hyper corrosion. Okay. Shooting phase or fight phase. 1 Tyranid's unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot or fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, add 2 to the strength characteristic of ranged weapons equipped by the unit, and add 1 to the strength characteristic of melee weapons equipped by Tyranid warriors and the Winged Tyranid Prime. Okay, this seems pretty dang good. Let's look at the melee ones first, because we're doing Winged Tyranid Prime with melee warriors. That's really what I'm looking at. So Winged Tyranid Prime, 6 attacks sitting on 2s, strength 6, AP 1, damage 2. So with this, you give it +1 strength. So it's strength 7, actually. So, I mean, you're not clearing chaff any better because you were wounding on 2s either way. And Marines are T4. So you're not getting to that double threshold. So this buff on the Tyranid Prime doesn't feel like the biggest change. However, the melee warriors go up to strength 6 on their melee weapons with sustain hits 1 and 6 attacks each. Feels pretty good. I mean, you're hitting... I mean, this lets you crack Terminators a lot easier because Terminators are toughness 5. So now instead of wounding on 4s, you're wounding on 3s with Twin Link. That feels pretty good. Just have a tank busting unit of Tyranid warriors, a Terminator buster unit. That seems pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. I do like that, actually. I'm a big fan of that. With ranged weapons, though, I mean, it's pretty funny that a ranged warrior's Venom Cannon goes up to strength 11. So this is genuinely like an actual tank buster Venom Cannon shot. That feels pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. I don't think you're really using this with on a squad with a Winged Tyranid Prime if you're using it on a ranged squad. However, if you have the Neuro Tyrant leading ranged Tyranid warriors, give +2 to all their strength, and then the reroll hits and wounds, I believe it is, from the Neuro Tyrant. That feels pretty good, actually. I'm a fan of spontaneous hypercorrosion as well, even if it's maybe not something you're going to use very often. I do like that it's an option. But moving on, restorative impulse. Your command phase. Okay, so something I'm going to forget to do all the time. Your command phase, one Tyranid warriors unit from your army that is below starting strength. Okay, so is this like a regeneration thing? We have the thing in gosh, what is it called? Invasion fleet. Yes, where in your command phase you can bring back some endless multitude units. I think some gaunts basically. You can return a bunch of gaunts back. I mean, I do like that strategy. I do like bringing models back. It really feels like the Tyranid thing to do. But effect, return one destroyed model, excluding character model, to your unit. Okay. So if you just need that extra little crack to break through some of your opponent's units, maybe you're really looking to kill a squad and you're like, I don't know if my 3 to 4 warriors that survive can do this. 1 CP, bring a boy back. I like this on melee warriors. I feel like I've been saying that a lot. A lot of things. I'm really a big fan of melee warriors as opposed to range warriors. That might just be a personal preference. That might just be looking at it and being like, oh yeah, these are just better in my opinion. I don't know. It might just be a me thing. I'm liking most of these with melee warriors with a winged hive tyrant. That's really what feels good here. So moving on, synaptic micronodes 1 CP. Your movement phase. Ooh, okay. Target one Tyranid warriors unit from your army. Select one objective marker you control that your unit is within range of. That objective marker remains under your control until your opponent's level of control over that objective marker is greater than yours at the end of it. Oh, so sticky. Okay. Okay, yeah. Sticky objectives. We've become Death Guard now. I like this. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't necessarily love it. It really depends on how your board is set up. But I mean, Sticky's just good. If you're playing a very like killy game, or if you want to make a list where you don't really have a backline holder, I mean, start of the game, throw a Tyranid into Warrior Squad on your home objective, spend 1 CP, make it sticky, and just move those boys away. I mean, that's pretty good. I see nothing wrong with it. It's just good. Custodies do this as well. It's just good. Yeah. So, parasitic payload. I love this name, by the way. Your shooting phase. Target one Tyranid warriors with ranged bioweapons unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase. Okay, this is specifically ranged warriors. I hope it's good because I'm not the biggest fan of ranged warriors. Until the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by models in your unit have the ignores cover ability. Okay, I like that. After your unit has resolved its shooting attacks this phase, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of these attacks. Until the end of the turn, models in that unit cannot have benefit of cover. Oh, I'm a big fan of this. Oh, I really like this actually. Okay, so you target. So I'm trying to imagine it. You target your range warrior squad. You shoot at 2 different units, right? You split your fire. You put one, whatever, maybe a barb strangler, a devourer or something with a good number of shots into a random thing. You know, something you really want to kill. Put the rest of the guns into something that these warriors can kill, and then the rest of your shooters shoot without them getting benefit of cover on the original thing you wanted to kill. Because you could target either squad. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's just good. Just generically good. If you're playing a more shooty list, maybe some exocrines, some zoanthropes, this feels pretty good. I mean, yeah. Yeah, just a big... I don't have much to say. It's pretty simple, but it feels good. And then finally, Synaptic Shield. Ooh, it's red, guys. Ooh, watch out. Synaptic Shield. Your opponent's shooting phase. Oh, okay. Okay. So this is a defensive. I was wondering about this. When are we going to get to the defensive stratagem? This is really what I feel like makes or breaks things. I mean, I know the detachment is already a defensive one, but I like having the option of more defense. More defense always makes me happy because I like killing things. That's why I'm not very good at this game. But your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. Okay, so before they start rolling. one Tyranid Warriors unit from your army that was selected as the target of those attacks. Okay. If that unit is a Tyranid Warriors unit, select up to one Endless Multitude unit from your army that is not Battle Shock, so Gaunts. Until the end of the phase, each time a ranged attack targets one of those units, if the strength characteristic of that attack is greater than the toughness characteristic of that attack, subtract 1 to the wound roll. So, sorry, I'm trying to think about this. So you target a Warriors unit, which then picks a Gaunt unit. Oh, it says if a range attack targets one of those units. Oh, okay. I was misreading. Sorry, slow brain is slow. So essentially, you're picking your Warriors unit. You're picking Hormagaunts or Termagants. Whenever they're shooting at either one of those, if the strength is higher than the toughness of that squad, -1 to wound. So just, I mean, good. It's good. I mean, changing wound is like changing their wound characteristic. Amazing. And it makes it so your Gaunts don't die to a light breeze. It makes it so, I mean, Warriors are pretty tough. T5, they're Terminator stats. So, I mean, your opponent really has to hit them with some heavy armor busters. They're looking for, I mean, if they're hitting with strength 5 to your T5, -1 to wound doesn't activate here, so you're still looking for 4s. If they're shooting you with anything from strength 6 to strength 9, then instead of looking for 3s, they're also looking for 4s, which is big. And then if they're shooting with, I mean, if they're shooting at your Warriors with strength 10, I mean, I think you're kind of okay with it. But I mean, it makes it go from wounds on 2s to wounds on 3s. I mean, I really like this Synaptic Shield, especially because since it's until the end of the phase, both your squads are getting the -1 to wound. I'm okay. So, after reading everything, thoughts. I'm actually, so I saw this Warrior Bioform Onslaught, and I was like, great. Okay, Warriors. Then I saw Leader Beast, and it's Warriors and Wing Tyranids Prime, and I was like, great. Warriors and Primes. Ooh, such good units. But honestly, I don't know how good this is going to be. I don't think this is better than the Synapse one or the Invasion Fleet one. Because those really feel like the peaks of Tyranids to me. But I'm not going to lie. I'm a decent fan of this may be, well, obviously I haven't tested it yet, but this so far seems very flavorful. It seems very fun. Strength-wise, don't know how good it is because, I mean, you are building around Warriors, and Warriors are not the end-all, be-all of Tyranids. But it does feel pretty good. So you make them tanky. So you're going from toughness 5, 3 wound models on your Warriors to toughness 5, 3 wounds with a 5-up invul. So they're not just randomly dying to big things. Every so often you'll save one. You're giving them advance and charge, -1 to hit, +1 to hit, reroll wounds and hits, adding strength, returning destroyed models. I mean, sticky is sticky, whatever. Buffing the rest of your shooting, and then making them harder to kill. I mean, it feels very flavorful. It feels very fun. I'm not going to lie. Ooh, and since they're battle line, you can play squads. You can play 6 squads of these. 6 units of these. So you could have, I mean, what? 36 Warriors on the field? Because you can run them in squads of 6. So, I mean, 6 times 6. Quick maths. So, I mean, 36 Warriors, that's a lot of money. Rip your wallet, bro. But this seems like a lot of fun. This seems like something I want to test. I don't think you max out on Warrior squads, but this feels very flavorful, very fun, pretty decent depending on what you're going against. I can see this being very good into like Space Marines, stuff with a lot of infantry and not as many like big, like tanky, chonky boys. You know what I mean? Because you're really letting your Warriors just out infantry their infantry, and then shooting everything that can kill your infantry. That's really how I see you playing this. This seems like fun. This seems like something I'm going to try. And if I do try it, and when I try it, I may make a video about that, just giving my impressions on, first game or two. But I'm honestly a big fan. Thank you, Games Workshop. Big fan. I will give this a rating. Let's give these a rating. I'm thinking of doing all of them, even if me or my playgroup do not own them. Just seeing my first thoughts. But let's give this a rating. I give this. We'll do it out of 6 because Warrior Squads come in 6. I give this 4 Warriors out of 6. It feels really fun. Everything seems to flow together pretty well. But Warriors and Wing Tyranid Primes are not the greatest things in Tyranids. And you're not really building around your monsters or anything. So I will give this 4 Warriors out of 6. You have destroyed 2 of my Warriors. Congratulations, Games Workshop. But yeah, that's really it. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. Comment down below your thoughts on this. Comment any changes, any improvements I should make personally. Tell me if I should play a better army than Tyranids. But yeah, if you enjoyed, feedback is always great. I'm thinking of doing one of these a day. I've already missed 2 days, but it's okay. We'll make up for it. And yeah, hope you all have a great day, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.